Becca here, and I am bringing you another one of Michelle's patterns. This one is called the Twisted Web. You will see that I am using my Leisure Arts oval loom 1/2 inch gauge. I am using, for yarn, I'm using Red Heart Soft. It's a medium 4-weight, and this one is color Plummy. Let's walk through the pattern. So I've already kind of gone through the loom and the yarn that I'm using. I cast it on 23 pegs. If you would like to make it wider, it's just multiples of 7 plus adding 2 for your end pegs. I used a simple no hook crochet cast on. You will see that there are written instructions as well as a chart. With this pattern, you will be doing knits, purls, yarn overs, edge pegs, purl 2 together, and then purl 2 together the other direction. It is just a 2-row repeat. And with this one, I found it easier to actually use masking tape and write the pattern. If I can get that to focus. Write the pattern right on the masking tape. You will see with my edge pegs here that when I am going right to left, I will be purling, and left to right, I will be knitting, but you can do whatever makes sense to you. But I wrote out the pattern for the whole 2 rows. Let's get started. So I am going to start with my edge peg, which is a purl. And then it is a knit, a purl, a knit, and then we're going to come to our yarn over. So what we're going to do is we're going to knit it, and then the next peg is going to be our purl 2 together. So we're going to pick that stitch up, move it over, and then we're going to come in between our yarn over peg and our purl 2 together peg and bring it up front, and then we're going to purl those 2 stitches together. And then when I come to an empty peg, I'm just going to place the yarn loosely in front of the peg and continue on with the pattern. So I have a purl, a purl, a knit, and then I'm back at a yarn over. So I am going I'm going to knit that, move that stitch over, and then I have my purl 2 together. I'm going to bring the yarn in between and then purl those 2 stitches together. Empty peg, lay loosely, and then purl, purl, knit, and then I have another yarn over, move that over, come in between the 2, and purl those 2 together. And then an empty peg, so lay my yarn loosely, purl, and then a knit, and then my edge peg, which I'm going to be purling. All right, so then that is row 1. So for row 2, my edge peg, I'm going to turn, and this time I'm going to knit that off. And then I have knit, and purl, a knit, and then a yarn over. Again, I'm going to knit that and then move the stitch over to do my purl two together. And I'm gonna go in between my yarn over peg and my purl two together and then purl those two stitches together. And when I come to an empty peg, lay the yarn loosely, and then I have a purl, a purl, a knit, yarn over. Again, I'm going to knit it off, move the stitch over for my purl two together, bring my yarn in between the two pegs, and purl those two stitches together. An empty peg, so I'm going to place my yarn loosely in front, and then a purl, a purl, a knit, another yarn over, a purl two together, again in between those two pegs, and then purl those two stitches together. Empty peg, so lay my yarn loosely over in front of that peg, and then a purl, a knit, a knit, and then my edge peg, which is a knit. So I am just going to continue repeating those two rows until I get to the length of my pattern. And then I am making an infinity scarf, so I will be bringing back my cast on row and then connecting those two together. Happy looming!